Hi all, I'm Cullen Haynes and welcome to Lawyer Lending Live. Happy Wednesday. Great to be back. And I'm here to be bringing a very special guest to be talking to you about how you can grow your law firm and practice and brand in 2024. My next guest has had over 7 years experience in the marketing space. And we really wanted to add value and talk to you about this today because getting business and having that trust built in the digital world is going to be more important than ever. So can you please make very welcome the founder of Legal Galaxy Marketing, Ava Emdadian. How are you, Ava? What's happening?
Hi, Cullen. I'm well, thanks. Thanks for having me today.
Oh, it's fantastic. And as I said, we are broadcasting live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, X, and here's TikTok right now. It's all home. So if you've got any questions for this powerhouse, please put them in the comments. And anyone rewatching, re-listening anywhere on the platforms, thank you so much. But I wanted to ask you, Ava, what is happening in your circle of influence?
Yeah, so as you can see, the law firm, the legal industry landscape is becoming much more competitive. So it's very important to kind of understand what you can do to stand out and stay relevant in the market at the moment. So I did have a few tips for law firms in order to help them stand out and grow their firms.
Absolutely. Let's rattle it off. What are the tips that law firms can be doing to help their business in 2024?
Yeah, so I think the first thing to pay attention to is your website and how you can optimize that for lead conversion. A lot of law firms may have website, but they may not be using the website to their full potential. So naturally, the first place that a potential client will look at will be your company's website, because they might be Googling your services and they might be confronted with a lot of different options as well. So you would want, ideally, you would want your website to pop up on the first page. So in order to do this, it's really important to kind of pay attention to a few things to make it Google friendly, basically. So the first thing I would say is reviewing your website and making sure that it ranks well in Google. So factors that might go into that is that firstly, mobile responsiveness is a key thing. So making sure your website is well created to be mobile responsive and mobile friendly. The second thing is the way that you design your website and the experience you provide to the visitors on your website. So whether that be it's easy to navigate, whether that be it's got call to actions which are easy to do. For example, contact us now, and that's accessible to the people visiting the website. And I think one of the most important things is also your content strategy and making sure that you're continuously publishing content that's relevant, using relevant keywords that potential clients or potential visitors for your website are searching up. That might be whether it's looking through frequently asked questions, or whether it might be, what are the trending topics at the moment? What are people looking for in your specific field? And generating content that also helps with making sure that you are portrayed as a trusted law firm, and that you are willing to help educate people around a specific question that they might have.
Good points here there, Ava. And what do you find is the hardest thing for lawyers and law firms to do to execute that? Like, because I know I'm not a tech person, and doing things for our business, obviously we offshore it and get other people to help. What's the hardest thing about these things? Is it knowing where to start?
I think so. I think knowing where to start, but also understanding what you actually need, because I feel like a lot of lawyers or a lot of law firms don't actually recognize the needs for their websites. And I think the second thing is a lot of smaller law firms, or if you're a solo law firm, we all know how much work you have to do, and running a business is not easy. So you simply just don't have time. Like, you don't have time to sit there and create content. You don't have time to research, what are the things people are looking for? What are those keywords? What are those specific topics that are trending at the moment? So I think time constraints, not knowing what you need and where to start, and simply just, a lot of people don't like creating content. They don't like writing.
No, that's a good point.
I think those are kind of the key challenges there.
Absolutely. So with the advent of AI and Chat GPT, are they making things easier, or do you still need people like your good self to help them with their marketing in the 2024 age there, Ava?
Yeah, so I think with AI, it's a bit tricky. I think AI is really good in a sense that it will help you kind of generate ideas and come up with the ideas and kind of structure something that you want to write. But in terms of just asking, for example, ChatGPT to write you an article on a specific topic, it's obviously not going to be Google friendly or SEO friendly because it does not recognize those keywords that people are looking for. So it doesn't do that keyword research or anything like that. So I do think that having ChatGPT written content, purely ChatGPT written content, will not be very optimized. But it's a very good place to start if you literally have no idea how to structure an article or structure a piece of content. Then it's a great place to start.
Absolutely. What are your the main problems people come into you with in the current age? What's the first thing they say they need help with?
Honestly, from what I've experienced is what I mentioned before. A lot of lawyers, they don't know what they need or what the marketing needs are, or just generating new leads. Because typically, the legal industry or professional services industry in general is a very referral based sort of industry. So, kind of tapping more into that lead generation from the digital side, I think that's a typical challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And any special projects you're working on in the new year, 2024? What are you working on? What's Ava doing?
It was doing a lot of things. So I am currently I am working with a few clients, mostly around content strategy and content planning, and website refresh to make sure we're optimizing the websites for successful lead generation or I'd say long-term lead generation. Apart from that, I work on projects at university as well. So I teach at university. So yeah.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. What are you specifically teaching at the university?
I teach marketing. I teach marketing and global business. Yeah.
There you go. So it's good to know that the people that are engaging you know that you are writing the book and actually teaching it.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. And is social media a big
Mhm.
play for businesses and personalities in the legal world in 2024? Like, things like TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook,
Yeah.
all the things we're broadcasting on. Should that be part of a lawyer's strategy to take their game to the next level?
I think so. Yes, definitely. Social media is increasingly becoming kind of more prevalent. I think for lawyers or law firms, it really depends which kind of industry you're focusing on in order to be able to pick up the right channels. So, for example, if you're a commercial lawyer and if you're a B2B lawyer selling to businesses, then probably your right channel would be content through LinkedIn. And I think that's a great way to also that goes very hand in hand with your SEO strategy and your website strategy as well, through publishing content on LinkedIn and then linking that back to your website. This also helps a lot with your SEO. And then again, if you're a law firm who sells to consumers, so if you're dealing directly with people and not businesses, then you might want to use channels like Facebook and Instagram, for example, to promote yourself. And you can also do targeted campaigns. So you can target people by age, by occupation, by education, for example. So you can really narrow down the audience and specific messaging that you want to convey to a specific audience as well, which tends to work much better than just doing mass marketing to a lot of people with a very generic messaging.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in terms of where people, like for the content ideas, where do you suggest people go? Because I know Gary Vaynerchuk talks about document, don't create. You don't necessarily have to
Yeah.
create content. You can just document your day. And I know many lawyers
Yeah.
do that quite well, like Claire Stiles, Jay Staffordgy, Pebby Kish, etc. I'd love to know your thoughts on that.
So there's a couple of ways you can do it. The first thing that you could think about is actually talking to your own clients and understanding their pain points. So you might come across a few clients who might be speaking to you about a specific pain point, and you can see that it's a common theme. So you say, okay, this is a challenge or this is a pain point that my specific clients or my specific audience per se are experiencing, and then you can go away and kind of talk about those challenges and how your service or your solution can help solve those pain points. The second is looking up frequently asked questions, FQAs, for example, on various websites. to find that out. The third way is doing your, for example, keyword research. So there's a couple of websites, or there's actually a lot of websites that you can use, like for example SEMrush, which you can kind of type in a specific topic and you can see all the Google searches that are coming up for a specific topic or a specific theme, and then you can go off that and base your content around that. So these are just a couple of ways that you can figure out what content is trending or what are the challenges in your specific field or in specific industry.
Yeah, pain points and challenges are quite good, and I think it's good to maybe do it as an anonymous case study is quite helpful as well. You talked 100%. About I've got one of your quotes as seeing reviews is like the second cousin or what have you to referrals. What does that mean, and how can people get 5 stars on Google? What's the secret?
Yeah, so with that, typically it is referrals, right? So back in the day when maybe digital or technology wasn't such a big thing and not everyone was looking on the internet for things, then it would be you telling your friend about someone with a really good service, providing a really good service, and then your friend would call up that firm or that specific business. Whereas now a lot of people are just looking online for reviews, or whether it's Google reviews, whether it's looking through your website and looking at your customer success stories. So I think it's really important to ask for reviews. So if you have a client and you've done some good work for them and you can see that they're happy, just ask for it. Just say, hey, do you mind please leaving a Google review for me? And 9 out of the 10 times, I'm sure people will leave a review on Google for you. And then I would suggest adding those Google reviews on your website.
That's a good point.
So adding those reviews on your website adds credibility, adds trust, because especially for law firms, it's a very trust-based kind of service where people want to do the research beforehand and make sure you know who they're dealing with. And most of the time, they will go with, if they have no idea about they have a couple of options, but they don't know which one's good, which one's not. They haven't had a friend or they haven't had anyone else they know use that specific law firm or that specific service, then the reviews is the first place they're going to go to. And if your law firm has 20 or 30 really good reviews, you're most likely to get the client than someone who's got maybe 1 or 2 or 5 reviews. So I think that's why, reviews are very important as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised how many big law firms, I'm talking top 50, don't have many reviews. And I think because they're asking. At LHL, I think we've got over 400 5-star Google reviews. And we found, obviously, emails are great. And we obviously email clients for them. But, giving away the secret sauce, when we call up and someone's purchased or just refinanced, getting their energy saying, hey, would you be against a quick Google review to let your friends and clients and colleagues know? And we send them the link via text. Doing that one thing is just so much, it's just such a hassle-free thing, because who doesn't have one of these things, their phone on them, to get that sorted? So that's my little 2 cents worth. Start sending things via text and watch your Google reviews soar. I got that little tip from John Carew from Mayfield Property Buyers. Thank you for that. And I think it's a good one. We're getting to the end of the stream there, Ava. So I wanted to ask you if there's any closing thoughts or anything, anyone tuning in that is either starting a law firm, has a law firm, or wanting to take it to the next level. What would you like to say to them?
I think try to get it right from the start. So if, for example, if you're establishing a law firm, try to get your website right from the start. So then you don't have to go through the whole restructuring and making sure it's optimized for SEO and Google search. So I think use your website as your most important asset, I think, because I feel like that's often overlooked, the impact that your website can have in terms of digital lead generation. Second thing, use your network. So co-branded marketing, for example, is also another very good strategy to generate leads and tap into maybe a potential client base that you may not have access to if you're marketing by yourself. So leverage your network, get your website right from the start, and constantly be publishing content and stay up to date with the current trends in your specific field or specific industry as well.
And how can people find you? Where are you hanging out the most?
I'm always here. So I'm always on LinkedIn. I'm always around in the city. I'm always here.
Fantastic. So connect with Ava. She's an absolute superstar. Thanks everyone for joining. And if you have any questions, obviously put them in the comments or reach out to Ava directly. I'm sure she'd appreciate a cheeky DM. And if you're rewatching on any of the platforms, thank you so much again. Bye for now, everyone. Thanks again, Ava.
Thanks, Cullen. Thank you so much for having me.